In this video, I am going to explain some terms I believe that people are not very well aware of. They just memorize it. I'm not saying about everyone. I'm just saying because I feel, because I also went through the same thing. Even in my other videos, I have shared that memorizing is something very important actually, but then it's also must to understand the thing, then only it becomes easier. It's my perspective and I may be wrong, but today I discuss verb, and verbs are of two kinds, that is finite and non-finite. But when I was introduced to verbs, I was very confused. I am always confused, and that's why I'm always seeking for clarity. So sometimes I used to listen like regular verbs, irregular verbs, some other time weak verbs, strong verbs, transitive verbs, intransitive verbs. This transitive and intransitive I was introduced in the beginning itself, and later on these regular and weak and finite and non-finite came. So I was not understanding nouns. Okay, kinds are there, pronouns, we have kinds. What is this? If we just ask this question, what are the kinds of verbs, then why there are so many answers? I was not understanding that. Finite or non-finite, this is the kind, or this transitive or intransitive, or strong or weak, or regular or irregular. So I tried to find it out. Mainly finite and non-finite. Finite talks about limitation, right? Non-finite, there is no limitation. So whatever does not change with the change of tenses. Tenses means present, past and future. If it does not change, then that is non-finite. But if it changes with the tenses, then it is finite. So once I understood this, I could relate transitive and intransitive, and regular and irregular, and strong and weak. See, you all have memorized that the long table of verbs, verb forms: go, went, gone, going, goes, like that. So strong verbs and weak verbs we can understand here. Even regular and irregular we can understand here. They are almost the same one. Just see how. Go, when we change into past, then it becomes went. But see, another word is walk or talk, and then we add ed to it. Talk, talked. And one more, beat, bitten, like this. So nothing changes here, just we add ed to it, en to it. Okay, so these are regular because there is a system, there is something very regular when we are adding only ed or en to it. But when we change it completely, like go and then went, then what happens? This is something irregular, it's not following a pattern. So this is about regular and irregular, and the same goes with the strong and weak verbs also. A strong one which is irregular one, and weak which is regular, means which is not changing, it's just being added some what do you say, suffix et. So this is something you can easily understand. But what about the transitive and intransitive? Transitive, when I was a child, I was taught that transitive, the verb which has object, that is called transitive, and the verb which does not have object is called intransitive. But then again, I had a tough time to understand that, because I was thinking how to recognize the object, whether it's an object or not, because I was thinking after verb which will come, that will be an object. I eat an apple. So I is subject, that is pronoun, and eat is verb, and then apple is object. Okay. But then I go to school. So I was taking it like I is pronoun, go is verb, and to school, it must be an object. No, because it's coming after the verb. But then the teacher was saying, no, it's not. But then why? So intransitive and intransitive, how I understood, that is something which I am going to share, is when we get the answer kya kisko, if we get the answer of what and whose or whom, then only it is intransitive. Then it is transitive. But when we don't get the answer, these two answers, then it is intransitive. We will get another answer, but not the same answer. Kya or kisko. These answers determine whether it's a transitive verb or not. If we get the answer, it is transitive verb. If we don't get the answer, it is intransitive verb. Let's understand this with some examples. Like I eat an apple. What do we eat? Apple. So what? What? Answer, apple. I go to school. What do I go? No answer. Whom do I go? No answer. But where do I go? There is an answer. But we are not seeking the answer of where. We are seeking the answer of what and whom. If we say he beat me, then he what did he beat? No answer. Whom did he beat? There is an answer. He beat me. So this is again transitive. Now in this also there are two things like direct and indirect object. Direct object is the answer of what, and indirect object is the answer of whom. Like I will give you one example which will include both the direct and indirect object. Is he gave me a pen. Now there are two objects, me and a pen. He gave a pen. What did he give? A pen. He gave me. Whom did he give? Me. So what did he give? Pen. That is direct object. Whom did he give? Me. That is indirect object. So this is all about transitive verb. Transitive verb, the answer to recognize whether we have object or not, because object is something which is must for transitive verb. So we must be able to recognize that, and that we can recognize with the help of the question word, that is what and to whom. And what will give the reply of direct object, and whom will give the reply of indirect object. So I think this much is clear to you. And when we don't get the answer, it is intransitive verb. Now coming back to the finite and non-finite. As I already said, finite changes of the tenses. Non-finite, there is no change. No matter which tense we are talking in, but it is not going to change. Like, I go to school. Present, I went to school. Past, I will go to school. Future is changing, no? So that's why it will come under finite. But now see another example. I went to see my uncle. I went to see my uncle. Please listen carefully. Went will change. I will go to see my uncle. I go to see my uncle. Now see, the main verb is changing. Go, went, will go. But another one which is coming after that, I went to see, to see, to see, to see. This is not going to change, right? So, and this is called infinitive. To plus V1, to see. I went to see my uncle. So went is finite verb and to see is non-finite. Like I saw him coming. I see him coming. I will see him coming. So saw is changing, but coming is not changing. Now this coming is again non-finite. So hope it helps. Thank you for listening to me patiently.